All right, today we are joined by Ryan Sloan, second round pick of the Seattle Mariners out of the 2024 draft. How's it going, Ryan?
It's doing well. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I saw some rumors circulating on Twitter that you might be working on a new pitch. Someone said you might be
That
revisiting a sinker a little bit. Is that true?
is true. I started throwing it. I mean, I threw it last year. I practiced it last year. Didn't get to it in games, but I threw it all off season. I've been throwing it in bullpens and started throwing it in lives. And only faced one righty, so obviously wasn't able to implement it as much as prefer because I'm not going to throw it a ton to lefties. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but righties, it'll be a good weapon.
Now, on the developmental side of that, when it comes to things to work on, say it's a new pitch, say whatever, is that something that the team is that something you do on your own, or does the team have ideas that, maybe we need to add something to the pitch mix or?
I'd say it's a mix of both. Like I'd say the sinker for me was probably more myself, where I was
Mhm.
like, okay, like I can throw a sinker and it's good, so I want to throw it. And then they're like, okay, we'll go look. It ends up being good, so they're like, yeah, you're good to throw it. And I'm like, okay, it's
That's
pretty
awesome.
sick. So yeah.
You can't choose Mariners for this question, but if you had to do sort of a Mount Rushmore, a 5-man pitching rotation of
Okay.
active MLB players, you plus 4, can't choose any teammates. Who are your 4?
Okay, so I can just choose four guys.
Yep.
Scooble, easily. Skeens, that's pretty easy too. I probably go. Hmm. Like if I'm thinking current, like if I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna think overall guys that are in the league still, and then I go Scherzer, Verlander, done.
And are you the one in that rotation, or where are you?
I'll fit myself in. We'll figure it out as a group.
That's great. Um, Now, obviously, the one of the main reasons that I wanted to bring you on today is talk about Bowman cards. You are a
hmm
collector yourself. When did you kind of get into collecting baseball cards? Since you were a kid, or?
Yeah, I always kind of collected them. Yeah, it was funny when I was a kid. I kind of just whatever there was. I remember I'd always go to the store with my dad, and it was like, I want the box with the most cards. And that's always like now I look back at it and I'm like, that's stupid. Like I was back in the day when there's like Prism basketball was like huge, Prism football's huge. And I'm over here getting like Leaf cards. And I'm like, oh gosh, I could have been rich back in the day, have some Burrows, have some whatever. And I'm getting the boxes that are 80 cards instead of 24s because I wanted to open more cards.
That's so funny. And what's the when it comes to the signing cards? What's the process now? Does Topps approach you? When did you find out that you were going to have a card?
My agent told me. I kind of like knew I was gonna have one. Just like actually, like before I got drafted, I wasn't like huge into Bowman. I kind of was just like I knew of it, but I wasn't aware of like all the prospects, all this, all that. I kind of got into that after I got drafted and got my own card. My agent told me they came to me and like, hey, we have all these cards you have to sign, and that's quite the process. I mean, you just got boxes upon boxes of cards. It's pretty nuts.
Is that what it is? Is it they come in a bunch of cardboard boxes and they just kind of you just got to lay them out and knock them out in
It is
waves, or how do you?
unreal. I mean, like when you pull a card out of 150, you're like, wow, that's pretty sweet. Like that's pretty low numbered. When you're signing them, it's a lot of cards. Like
I
you're
bet
just going through, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm only at 80, and I still got another 70 left. It's nuts.
I have people ask me all the time, because a lot of this, obviously, a lot of the cards are serial numbered, but the base
hmm
autographs aren't. And people are always wondering how many there are. Do you know how many came in? Do you know how many base autographs you signed? Like, was it in the thousands? Was it
It was definitely in the thousands,
really?
at least. At
That's
least.
crazy.
I don't know the exact number. I know, like, I signed a total amount of cards of like 5,000 or so, and then whatever you do the math, whatever is left over, I guess was base autos. It's pretty nuts.
So now that you collect, are you like you buy singles on eBay, or do you do any ripping of boxes, or you hop in any breaks or anything like that?
I try not to open box. I try not to break, but like it's inevitable that I end up joining some every once in a while or opening a box. Like I opened a box of Bowman Draft, the most recent one, because I bought a bunch of Drake Baldwin redemptions rookie
Nice.
autos. for whatever they were, 40, $50 a pops, because I was gonna get a box anyways. It got rinsed. Absolutely rinsed. I mean, I pulled a Sparkle Auto, and it's a fourth round pitcher. I'm like, okay, like this guy's gonna need to be special for me to make my money back. I mean, other than that, it wasn't great. But I usually just stick to buying singles, whether it's eBay, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, all the above.
Right. And for a while there was this stigma in Bowman that like you don't want to hit these pitcher autos, but ever since kind of Skeens kind of changed the game on that.
Yeah.
Ever since the Skeens mania, now people do want to collect pitchers. So as a pitcher, when you pull a pitcher, are you like, oh, a pitcher, or are you like, are there certain ones that you're more excited about than others?
I mean, like I would always mess with it with my friends. I'd be like imagine the people who pull my autos in that $600 box. Like, damn, this sucks.
How, how many
This is
people have
awful.
Ryan Sloan autos that they threw into shoe boxes because they were like this pitcher?
Like, are you kidding me? Another $15 auto, second rounder. This is awful. Like, I
Now,
could
when
just
you
imagine it.
right, and when you collect, do you collect mostly autographs yourself, or you collect teammates, or kind of like a wide variety?
Honestly, it's a wider variety. Guys I think are good, teammates, guys I played with, myself. I stopped collecting myself. I have too much of my stuff, and I got all the good stuff. I cut myself off. Other than like new cards that come out of mine or supers or really low numbered stuff.
Right. Well, I hope you bought some of your autographs before they went up in price the last couple months.
I'm big into it. I'll tell you that much.
Now, who is? You said there's some guys you played against. Is there anyone you play against where you watch them on the field and you're like, I'm gonna go buy an autograph of this guy. Like he looks
Yeah,
legit.
yeah,
Is
yeah,
there
yeah.
anyone you can think
Okay.
of off the top of your head?
Perfect example. Perfect example. I remember we played Rancho Cucamonga, who's the Dodgers team, and it was like the middle of summer. And this guy comes up their leadoff guy. I'm like, okay, this guy looks pretty good. Ends up being Eduardo Quintero, and he goes on a tear this week, and I mean a tear. Our field is huge, and he hits two pumps, and I'm like, wow, this guy's got something too. I might go check him out. Bowman 2025. Go get, what did I buy? I bought a refractor auto. I think I bought three or four of his autos, graded them. One of them graded 10, and I've just been sitting on them since. So it's been good. Trying to think. Other than that, that's been it so
I
far.
I love that pick because I've been a Quintero fan for
I mean,
since
he's
before he was
unreal.
big. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Unreal.
That's awesome. Is there anyone like that you played with as a teammate, or maybe like you're in the bullpen with, or you threw a live BP against that you were like, it's someone we all know Cold Emerson, we all know those big names. Is there anyone like lower down that kind of like a sleeper in the organization that you're really
Sleeper.
impressed by?
I did get out on Colt earlier this year, beginning of last year, so that was good. I made good profit there. Sleeper Mariner guys. I'm trying to think. I feel like Arroyo is slept on. I think his autos have been cheap. What did I buy? I got an orange sapphire auto of his. I just think he hits. And guys that hit make it up. And if he hits, he's going to be good.
Yeah, absolutely. And in Bowman, people get kind of like this stigma where like if you're 5'8", 5'9", you're not a power hitter. Arroyo can swing
Exactly.
it.
I mean, he hit nine. I mean, I know Everett's a boom box where he hit most of his home runs at, but like there's some pop in that bat, and he is
Yep.
just jacked. He is jacked. Like it's a
Speak.
big, whatever it is, it's a big frame.
Yeah. And speaking of that, you're talking about the stadium. Obviously, a lot of people look at Everett as a very hitter-friendly environment. A lot of players' stats kind of blow up when they go to Everett. As a pitcher, do you know that when you're standing on the mound, like, oh man, this I might give up some pop flies that carry out of this park.
Yeah, I mean, I witnessed it when I went there for my 3 weeks. I went there, some guy hit like a butter cut inside fastball. It takes off, goes foul, comes back and like lands right over the fence. I'm like, wow, welcome to Everett. Like you kind of just like have that in mind where it's like you try to be so process oriented, and obviously it's tough when you're playing at a park that's so small and you give up a bunch of pop flies that end up going out that wouldn't be home runs elsewhere, but just committing to being process oriented helps. I mean, the Mariners preach that, and just try to live by that.
what would you say is your favorite Bowman card that you still have in your possession?
Well, I got my super auto, so
Do you really?
that's easily the
I was
best.
gonna
Yeah,
ask you what your grail was, but I didn't know
it's
you had your
easily the
super.
best. I
That's
have that,
awesome.
and I have the Parpadasho one too.
Do you really?
Auto. Boy, I
That's
got both
awesome.
autos. I
You
was
kept
lucky
them when you.
enough that people pulled them and contacted me first because like last thing I want to do is get in a bidding war with someone and then they're just taking the cash, And before
And
I
that
know
does.
it, it runs up the super cost.
Is there like a grail? You know, obviously you already have your super, you already have your papa. Is there a
hmm
card that if it came along, you'd want people to reach out and like, is there like a red or anything? Are you going for the whole rainbow, or are you kind of just chilling with those 1-on-ones?
I kick myself for this every day. I had the opportunity to buy the two that I'm missing to this day. I have every color except True Red and Red Wave, and I had the chance to buy both of them right when the product first came out for 1,200, and I was like, 1,200 steep. I was like looking at comps. I'm like, that is steep. 1,200. I'm like looking at the comps. I'm like, 1,200. I would pay like a grand. And
Did you did you
the guy ended up selling them for 1,200. And yeah,
did you counter offer and tell him, this guy's not even good? You want to give me a lower price on these? Did he know
yeah.
that it was you?
I think yeah, he did. I was like, hey, I decide how much these are worth. Essentially, like you better sell them to me.
I was gonna say you could kind of strong arm people. They want to give you a good deal. Be like, listen, buddy, I can tank the value of those cards really quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Other than playing against them, is there anything like any process for deciding what cards to buy, or just anything that any player you think will go up? Or
Pitchers is the easier one for me. Like if they have the stuff, like all they have to do is throw strikes. Like if they don't
Mhm.
walk people and they have stuff, like they're gonna be really good. Like that's how I kind of think. That's how I kind of think about my game too. Like my stuff's good. I throw strikes. I'm gonna be good in the long run. So I just try to throw a bunch of strikes.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
there's
but
not a lot of guys. It's either, especially when we get into Bowman, it's usually guy with really good stuff and shaky command,
mm,
or guys with really good command and the stuff's okay. So you're saying you go for the stuff. You're a stuff guy.
see, it's like if they have reasonable walk numbers. Perfect example is Carlos Lagrange. Stuff's unreal. His walk numbers aren't like crazy, and he plays for the Yankees, which is just another add-on.
Hmm.
So it's like, love that,
Do you have some
Or
stuff
it's
of
like,
his?
I haven't bought any yet. I mean, I'm probably gonna wait now that everyone saw him throw 103, and stuff's probably just gonna get pumped to the moon. But like, or it's like the guys that have like mediocre stuff and just throw a ton of strikes because it's like, end of the day, like, what do you think they're working on? Like, they're working on getting better stuff. So if they do, they're gonna end up being really good. Like Braylon Dowdy, I played with him too. Like Johnny King, I played with. I got a good amount of both of their stuff. Like I'm trying to think. Those were all guys in draft 24, so I bought a bunch of them and I played with them. So, but yeah,
I mean, those are fantastic names. I love Braylon Dowdy and Johnny King. Actually, I live in Naples, Florida. Johnny King
okay,
went to high school right around the corner from me, so I watched him a bunch in high school. So he's another player that I was a big fan of coming out of the draft.
yeah.
So that's awesome that you said those too. Do you notice things because you're buying cards and you're kind of like looking at the prices? Like when that video went around of you striking out a Rosarena and your prices started bumping up, do you notice when stuff like that happens? Like, oh man, I'm going to be priced out of my own cards.
That's like kind of. I was talking to my buddy about it. I'm like, "Do you see the yellow that sold yesterday?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "That's unreal." He's like, "I remember I bought a yellow for like $80 back in the day, and now they're doing what I forgot what it did, 425 yesterday. It's pretty crazy."
Wow. Well, the good thing is that you're kind of betting on yourself. If you end up being, getting it called up within the next couple of years, your superfractor and your papa, those could be nice little retirement options there.
We're sitting in a good spot.
Right. All right. Well, I appreciate you joining me. That was awesome that you reached out to me on Substack and kind of said, stop talking about my cards, quit making them go up.
They're getting pumped up because every time you post something, you go look and it's just like market just goes up, and I'm like, okay. Like,
I don't even do it on purpose. I guess it only takes two people bidding against each other to kind of make that
right.
happen. But no, I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah,
We'll have to get you back on. Maybe we'll get a break going or something like that. We'll try to
for
pull you.
sure.
We'll get a 2024. I actually might be doing. I might get a couple boxes of 2024 draft next week and open them. Maybe we'll phone you in. We'll try to see if we can pull you one of that either that red or that red wave for your rainbow.
Those are unreal how much they are now. I
I bet.
can't. It's unreal.
That's why we got to get them straight from the box.
Unreal. I mean, what are they? No, I'm saying the boxes. Boxes are probably 12.
Oh
What are they?
yeah,
1,200 a pop now.
yeah, they're like
I mean,
over a
it's
thousand for a
crazy.
hobby.
It's crazy. I mean, I know you got KG, you got Kurtz. There's actually a lot of good names in it now that I think
Jack.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
you
a
got a lot of good names.
But isn't it funny how that works in Bowman? It's like, and I know this just because I cover it all the time. Every product comes out, and people are like, "I'm not paying $500 for this. This checklist isn't good enough." And then six
Every
months down the
time.
road,
Every
the
time.
box is doubled in price, and and it's like clockwork. It's like we got to just start
Every
buying
time.
these things right when they come out.
Like I remember the funny thing was that people were talking about how the 24 draft class was like super weak. I remember that's all that was going. It's like 24 draft is not a lot of depth, not top end talent isn't great, and then it ends up being a really good draft. Funny how that works.
It is funny because in Bowman everyone loves the high school players. Like that's you want the high school guys
Exactly.
with the big ceiling. And I can remember, obviously you had Max Clark the year prior, Colt the year
Hmm.
prior, Walker Jenkins, all these guys. I remember when 24 draft came out and people complained and they were like, "Well, there's not a top end high school bat in this product." And it ends and here we are today with probably the most hyped prospect in the history of
Ever.
baseball.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. Then you have
wild
a
how that
rookie of the
happens.
year the same year. It's unreal.
Well, if I end up opening those 24 draft boxes, I'll have to phone you in and see if I can pull
That
one of those
works.
cards you're missing.
Yeah,
I appreciate you joining me.
for sure. I
All right,
appreciate you.
yeah, best of luck this season. We're all rooting for you, especially in the Bowman
Thank you.
world.
Thank you. Yeah, right.
All right, have a
All
good one,
right.
man. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll do.